Oliver, you okay? I got you!
Hello everyone. Welcome back to Sansan, Best Anime Reaction. Last episode carried an overwhelming sense of tragedy, showing us the human cost of decisions made in the name of freedom. In this episode, I expect those consequences to continue spreading across the world. The emotional burden on the characters feels heavier than ever, and it's clear that no one can remain neutral anymore. I'm anticipating moments of conflict, both physical and emotional, as former allies are forced to confront each other. There's also a sense that hope, if it still exists, is fragile and easily crushed. Season 4 is no longer holding back. Let's continue with episode 24 and see how the world reacts to the unfolding disaster.
That's it. The last of our pursuers, Levi. Everyone got turned into Titans. You're the only one who survived. Likely for the same reason you lived through a Thunder Spear blast at point-blank range. You Ackermans aren't built like the rest of us. We're still here, but what do we do? There's no way the two of us can stop Zeke by ourselves. It's up to Armin and Commander Pixis now. Eren might be planning to turn on Zeke and hijack the Founder. But thanks to Zeke's tainted wine, the Jaegerists would retain control of the island. So even if Eren wins, we'll be on the run for the rest of our lives. That's it. Guess it's really my turn, huh? Ever since this started, I've just been trying to do what I thought was right. And after everything that's happened, it could land me in a cell. Or maybe you and I can just camp out here in the sticks forever, right, Levi? He wouldn't. The whole world? How can he not see that? Levi!
What happened? Where is that hairy sack of shit?
No need to get up. Zeke's long gone. The Jaegerists found him after hearing the explosion. They took off for Shiganshina half a day ago. What happened? How did he break free?
It was my...
Attack on Titan Season 4 Episode 24 feels like that awkward, tense silence before a massive family argument explodes at the dinner table. Nothing huge seems to happen at first glance. No world-ending rumbling this time, but emotionally? This episode is absolutely packed. It's the calm that hurts, the calm that forces characters to stare directly into the mirror and ask themselves, so, what kind of monster am I willing to become today? We open in a world that's technically not on fire, but spiritually? Oh, it's already burning. The Jaegerists are now firmly in charge, and if you were hoping they'd chill out after winning, sorry. Floch has clearly read the handbook titled How to Become the Most Uncomfortable Guy in the Room. He struts around like he personally invented the concept of victory, holding public trials, humiliating prisoners, and turning support Eren into a loyalty test you might fail just by breathing incorrectly. And here's the thing that makes Floch terrifying. He's not insane in the traditional anime villain way. He's calm. He's convinced. He truly believes history will thank him. That's what makes every scene he's in feel like watching a slow-motion car crash where someone is smiling behind the wheel. While Floch is busy role-playing as the final boss of fascism, we cut to Connie, who is having the worst road trip of his life. He's riding through the snow with Falco, and if you don't know what Connie's planning at this point, buckle up, because this episode decides to emotionally suplex you without warning. Connie has made a choice. A horrible, desperate, very human choice. He plans to feed Falco to his titanized mother. Let's pause here, because this is one of the most quietly devastating plotlines in the entire series. Connie isn't laughing anymore. He isn't cracking jokes. The goofy kid who once argued about who should inherit the colossal titan is gone. What's left is someone who lost his village, lost his family, and is now clinging to the idea that maybe, just maybe, this nightmare can be reversed if he sacrifices one innocent life.
Fault. I screwed up. Had him rig the blow if he tried to break his restraints. I didn't think he'd do it. I was wrong, and he got away.
Worrying about it won't help us now. We can't do anything but...
Run and hide. If we do, what'll that get us?
Fair question. You must have been lying there listening to me talk to myself for a while.
What's with your little project there? That for me? Gonna pull me around with a horse? Yeah, that sounds like you. There's no way in hell you're gonna be staying out of the action.
That's right. You know me far too well. Can't help myself.
I'm after one thing now. My goal is to take Zeke's head. Theo Magath, Peak Finger. Looks like our interests are aligned.
Levi Ackerman, the man who went toe-to-toe with one of the nine all on his own. Not sure how you plan on dodging a bullet given the shape you're in.
I couldn't dodge a punch right now. And yet, I still chose to come here and put myself at your mercy. Shoot me or hear me out. The choice is yours.
Well, hell, I can always shoot you later. If you two are planning to kill Zeke, does that mean you already know where to find him?
He'll be with the Founder. The fact that this is happening indicates Zeke's royal blood is in contact with Eren. Or rather, the Founding Titan, I should say.
I never would have guessed that you would be this knowledgeable about Titans, Hanji. You know more than Marley's guys. I don't suppose you've laid eyes on the Founding Titan yourself.
I know that the thing is humongous. So big that it seems like nothing would ever be able to slow it down. But we've got to try. Let's give ourselves the best possible chance. Our only option now is to join forces. So what do you say?
I still don't know how I'll actually get Mom to eat Falco. Just force him into her mouth. But if he gets hurt in the process and figures out he can turn Titan, then that's it. I can't screw it up. I need to come up with a plan. A real one.
And Falco, sweet, kind, cinnamon roll Falco, has absolutely no idea what's coming. He trusts Connie completely. He's talking about Gabby, about wanting to help everyone, about doing the right thing. Every word he says is basically emotional damage with surround sound. The brilliance of this episode is that it doesn't paint Connie as evil. It lets you sit in his head. It shows you the exhaustion, the denial, the way grief can twist logic into something unrecognizable. Connie keeps smiling, keeps joking, as if that will stop reality from catching up. Spoiler alert, it does not. Back on the mainland, the episode shifts to another group dealing with the consequences of Eren's choices. Mikasa, Jean, Armin, and the others are now officially labeled traitors in waiting. The irony is painful. These are the people who saved humanity over and over again, and now they're treated like potential criminals because they won't blindly cheer for genocide. Jean, in particular, is fascinating here. He's always been the most normal one, the guy who wants a quiet life and a clean death. And now, that desire is haunting him. You can see it in his eyes. How tempting it would be to just go along with Flock, enjoy the benefits of being on the winning side, and pretend Eren's plan is someone else's problem. Attack on Titan has always been about choices, and Jean is the embodiment of that theme. He understands the cost of resistance. He understands the comfort of surrender. And the episode makes sure you feel that tension in every pause, every sideways glance. Then we get one of the most underrated moments of the episode, Commander Shaddus and the cadets. If you ever thought Shaddus was just the grumpy instructor who screamed a lot, this episode gently corrects you. When the Jaegerists force new recruits to beat their former instructor as a test of loyalty, it's cruel, humiliating, and symbolic. This is the new order literally demanding that the next generation beat the old one into the dirt. Shaddus doesn't fight back.
He's such a good kid. He's camping out here in the woods without a single complaint. And he has every reason to doubt me. But he trusts me with his life. Damn it! Sasha. Would you have understood what I'm about to do?
Sir, I thought you were taking me to a hospital. But this is an abandoned village.
Right. There's just something interesting here. Thought you might like to see it.
Is this Ragako Village?
You've heard of it before? How'd you know?
'Cause you mentioned it. I accidentally heard you talking to yourself last night. And that name, Sasha. You were talking about one of the other soldiers. She was the one Gabi shot, right? The whole time, you've known exactly who I was. Yet you acted like you didn't until you'd gotten me out here. Why do all this? Why would you go to that much effort? Revenge?
Hardly. Soldiers get killed in the heat of battle. I know that. It's been lying here for years. Never even budged. It's not a threat to us.
Why is it here? And why show me? What are you gonna do with me now?
Yeah, I guess I never mentioned that. Think you could help me brush its teeth? It's a pretty rare opportunity. Wouldn't want to pass it up. But first, we're gonna have to climb up onto that rafter for a better angle. The ladder is solid, and I'm not gonna let you fall or anything. So, let's get to it.
Sounds good.
Falco! Get away from him now!
Gabi?
He brought you out here because he wants to feed you to that Titan!
Please stop! Don't do it, Connie! Get back! Don't come any closer! Connie! Just shut up! I don't want to hear it! Don't even bother talking to me, because there's no way I'm gonna listen! You're gonna say I should give up on saving my mom, because his life is more important than hers! And you're smart, so you might be right, but I'm way too much of an idiot to care!
Falco, you have to use the power of the Jaw Titan!
Use the power of the jaw? What? What about Mr. Galliard?
Not Falco. He's in his...
He doesn't beg. He takes the hits, not because he's weak, but because he understands something the Jaegerists don't. Strength isn't always about winning the fight in front of you. Sometimes it's about shaping the people who will fight later. And when he quietly tells the cadets how to survive, how to keep their humanity intact even under this regime, it's one of the most hopeful moments in an otherwise bleak episode. Shaddus knows his time is over. His pride isn't in himself, it's in what comes next. Which brings us back to Flock, who is busy proving that pride can also be the ugliest word in the dictionary. The execution of the anti-Marleyan volunteers is one of the coldest scenes in the season. There's no dramatic music, no heroic framing. Just Flock asking a simple question. Do you support Eren Yeager? And Onyankopon's answer, firm, calm, unapologetic, is one of the bravest acts in the show. He refuses to kneel, refuses to lie, refuses to pretend that mass murder is freedom. For a brief moment, Attack on Titan reminds us that courage doesn't always come with swords and ODM gear. Sometimes it's just standing still and saying, no. Meanwhile, Armin is having a crisis that could power an entire therapy industry. He's questioning everything, his worth, his intelligence, the choice to let him live instead of Erwin. He keeps wondering if someone else would have stopped Eren by now, someone stronger, someone smarter, someone less Armin. And that self-doubt is exactly what makes him dangerous in this episode, in the best possible way. Because when Armin realizes what Connie is planning, he doesn't hesitate. He doesn't argue. He doesn't give a speech. He lies down in front of Connie's mother and offers himself as food. It's one of the most shocking and quietly heroic moments in the entire series. Armin doesn't do this because he wants to die. He does it because he understands something Connie has forgotten. Once you cross that line, there's no going back. If Falco dies here, Connie doesn't get his mom back. He just adds.
Let him go!
Dobby, please forgive Connie for this, okay?
Hey! Did you hear me say to stay back? Wait, what are you doing up there? Hey! Answer the damn question, Armin!
Why? You just told me that you weren't gonna listen! So I won't answer. I'll just let my actions speak instead. No, Colt.
If I hadn't saved you, what were you gonna do?
The same thing you were gonna do. Make your mom human again.
You also would have made her into the inheritor of the Colossal. There would have been nothing ahead of her but more pain. It shouldn't take a genius to figure that much out. When she saw me off, she told me to become a great soldier, everyone's protector. But right in front of her eyes, my friend almost died trying to stop me from murdering a kid. Guess that's the kind of soldier I turned out to be. Pathetic.
I'm not any better. I'll never come close to filling the commander's shoes.
Look, Armin. I want to try and become the kind of soldier my mom would be proud of. So let's do it. There's a whole world of people that need saving right now.
There you are. I'm glad to see you. Have you been looking because you were worried I didn't make it? Or is it because you wanted your scarf back?
I was pretty sure you'd have it.
I'm sorry for taking it. I felt like maybe it could bring me a bit closer to you. There's shrapnel from a thunder spear deep in my stomach. The doctors can't get it out. For 100 years we've been imprisoned on this island, but Eren's giving our people a world where we can be free. I wish I could see it. We spoke before. Just a short conversation when I was bringing his...
Another goes to the pile. Connie breaks. Finally, fully, completely breaks. And when he does, the episode doesn't rush it. It lets the guilt, the relief, the horror all crash down at once. This isn't a triumphant save. It's a narrow escape from becoming someone you can never forgive. And then, like the universe deciding the emotional damage wasn't quite enough, Annie Lenhart re-enters the story. Her reunion with Armin is awkward, gentle, and painfully human. No dramatic speeches, no epic music. Just two people who have done terrible things, sitting across from each other and trying to remember how to talk like normal humans again. Annie doesn't ask for forgiveness. Armin doesn't offer it. They simply acknowledge the weight they're carrying. This is what Season 4 does better than almost any anime before it. It understands that trauma doesn't end when the fighting stops. It lingers. It reshapes people. By the time the episode closes, the pieces are finally moving into place. Former enemies are circling each other. Lines are being crossed quietly instead of loudly. An alliance is forming not because everyone agrees, but because the alternative is unthinkable. Episode 24 isn't about Titans smashing cities. It's about pride, broken pride, inherited pride, and the dangerous kind of pride that convinces people they're right no matter how many bodies pile up behind them. It asks the viewer an uncomfortable question. If you were here, really here, with all this fear and loss pressing down on you, what would you choose? And the scariest part is realizing there's no clean answer. If you're using this episode for a YouTube recap, this is the one where you slow down. This is the episode where you let the silence breathe, where you remind your audience that Attack on Titan was never just about giants. It was always about people, and how easily love, fear, and pride can turn them into something unrecognizable. And trust me, the storm is coming. Before this episode ends, Attack on Titan quietly slips in one of its most psychologically honest moments, and if you—
Food, we were talking about you. When the scarf came up, he said he wanted to throw it out. And so, if it was just gonna get tossed, I figured it wouldn't hurt anything if I—
Give it back.
I became a soldier because I admired you. And I'll die with no regrets. I pledged my heart and soul just like you. I followed in your footsteps as best I could and gave my life to the cause.
The last Wool Titans are finally marching off.
Yeah, it'll be nice to have a little bit of quiet again.
I don't mind the rumbling. To me, it sounds like the bells of freedom.
For the past century, our Eldian Empire has suffered persecution at the hands of the outside world. That ends now! At this moment, we're finally free! Thanks to our liberator, Eren, and all the efforts of my fellow Jaegerists, our people have achieved victory!
So, what are you thinking? You know the Jaegerists have a place for you at the top. Are you gonna join them and start calling the shots?
Think I'll pass on that.
Guess whatever you're worried about doesn't really bother Sean.
Our hearts and souls to the cause! Our hearts and souls to the cause! Our hearts and souls to the cause!
Our hearts and souls to the cause! Glory to the Jaegerists! Our hearts and souls to the cause!
To Eren, liberator of Eldia!
I think we should go and get Rhina as soon as possible.
He shouldn't even be waking up for a few more days, so there's no hurry.
Are we sure taking this detour was a good idea?
We were gonna have to eat eventually, right? So you think it's true, Armin?
If all Titan hardening came undone when the walls fell, then there's no reason to think that wouldn't include us. Annie?
Look at that! Annie was stuffing her face with pie!
Come on, Connie, that's enough.
She had half that slice in her mouth!
Yeah, but she hasn't had a bite in 4 years.
Sorry, the line for pie was ridiculous. Right, never mind then.
Dear Hitch, I happened to cross Armin and Connie, and I decided it was best if I joined them. So I'm off. Sorry for all the trouble. Thank you for keeping me company these past 4 years. Goodbye. Sincerely, your gloomy roommate.
Blink, you might miss how important it really is. It's Jean's imagined future. No Titans, no screams, no blood, just peace, or at least, something that looks like peace from far away. Jean imagines himself years from now, living comfortably inside the walls, wearing clean clothes, enjoying good food, and laughing with people who survived. There's no battlefield in sight. No moral dilemmas. No Eren. No rumbling. Just a version of life where he chose the winning side and let history do whatever it wanted. And for a moment, it looks nice. This is crucial, because Jean has never been the hero type, in the traditional sense. He didn't join the Scouts because he wanted glory. He joined because Marco believed in him. Jean's entire character arc has been about choosing responsibility over comfort, even though comfort is literally all he's ever wanted. So when the story shows us this fantasy, it's not tempting us, it's tempting Jean. What makes this moment hit so hard is how reasonable it feels. The Jaegerists are winning. Oren is unstoppable. The world is cruel. Would it really be so wrong to just survive? That's the question floating silently in Jean's head. And then the fantasy cracks. In his imagined future, Jean notices that something feels off. The smiles around him are empty. The laughter doesn't reach the eyes. And slowly, painfully, he realizes who's missing. Marco isn't there. Sasha isn't there. Hange won't be there. All the people who died believing the world could be better are gone, and Jean is left. Enjoying a peace built on their graves. This is where Attack on Titan does something brutally honest. It shows that choosing the easy path doesn't erase guilt, it preserves it. Jean's fantasy isn't punishment-free. It's haunted. It's a future where he's alive, but never at peace. And that's when Jean wakes up. This moment matters because Jean represents the audience more than almost any other character. Most of us aren't Erens or Levis. We don't crave destruction or live for battle.
Jeez, Annie. You expect me to eat this whole pie by myself?
Comrades of the Empire, thank you for joining me. We are gathered here for the execution of these two volunteers. They've both admitted to opposing the Eldian Empire. And in removing these disloyal elements from our midst, we're taking our first step towards realizing Eren's dream of world domination by declaring Eldius uncontested rule over Paradis! This criminal is Yelena. She took up arms and opposed Marley. She lived among us and fought at our side, but she did not fight for us. Her loyalty was to Zeke, and Zeke alone. She sought to turn the Founder's power against us and wipe the Eldian people from the earth.
She was nothing but another filthy Marleyan from the start.
Thankfully, Eren was able to defeat Zeke and put an end to his traitorous plot. Nonetheless, this criminal served as Zeke's puppet every step of the way.
Marleyan whore!
Well, Yelena, any last words you'd like to share?
Would you get it over with?
Do it! Put her down!
It isn't time yet! This criminal is Onyan Capone. He used to be a steadfast ally of Eldia, and he had no knowledge of Zeke's euthanization plan. That said, when offered the privilege of citizenship in the reborn Eldian Empire, he claimed he would rather die. It's still not too late for you to reconsider.
I joined up with the volunteers because I wanted to liberate my own homeland from Marleyan rule. And yes, I wanted to help your people as well. But how are you repaying my help now that you've won? The whole country's gonna be destroyed. Eren's gonna kill everybody I care for, right? And I get to live out my life here with your sad little gang of xenophobic shitheads? If living on me sucking up to you guys, I'm more than ready to die. Everybody on this island had their lives turned upside down by sudden acts of indiscriminate mass murder. So how is it not a single one of you understands? Talk some sense into him, John. Please.
Hey. Sorry about that. It pulled right.
What do you mean? Don't screw with me, Sean.
Block!
We want stability, safety, a future where we don't have to keep choosing between awful options. Jean's struggle is the struggle of an ordinary person trapped in extraordinary circumstances. The episode doesn't shame him for wanting comfort. It acknowledges that desire as human. But it also reminds us that neutrality, in a world like this, is still a choice, and often, it's a choice that benefits the worst people in power. Jean realizes something terrifying. If he does nothing, he's not innocent. He's complicit. That's why this episode positions Jean so carefully between Floch and the others. Floch is certainty without empathy. Armin is empathy drowning in doubt. Jean stands in the middle, weighing the cost of both action and inaction. And when he finally decides to move, it doesn't feel heroic, it feels necessary. There's no triumphant music, no bold declaration, just a quiet acceptance that the right choice might still destroy him. This internal battle is also what makes the eventual alliance feel earned. These characters aren't teaming up because they're idealists. They're doing it because they've stared into the future and didn't like who they became when they chose comfort over conscience. Jean's imagined future isn't a warning about being evil. It's a warning about being passive. And that's a theme Attack on Titan has been building towards since episode 1. Walls don't just protect people, they isolate them. They make it easier to ignore suffering outside. The Jaegerists promise safety, but only by shrinking the world until nothing else matters. Jean's vision shows us what that safety really costs. By the time the episode ends, Jean hasn't saved anyone yet. He hasn't fought anyone yet. But he's already won a battle, the one inside himself. He chooses to carry the burden instead of setting it down and walking away. In a series filled with monsters, titans, and world-ending power, this is one of the bravest acts of all. Because sometimes, the hardest thing isn't fighting the enemy. It's refusing the life that would have been easier if you stopped caring.
Someone find Mikasa! She can take out the cart. Hold on. Was she even here? Where's Mikasa? You heard that, right?
He said he'd signal us with 4 gunshots. Jean must be ready to kick off the next phase.
We grabbed enough food and munitions to keep us going for a while.
All eyes should be fixed on the other side of the fort for at least a few minutes. Let's roll out.
Somebody spotted us.
What are we gonna do now, Armin?
No choice but to keep moving. Faster, Mikasa!
That's the last damn time I get in a Titan's mouth.
The cart's supposed to be able to stay in Titan form for months at a time, right? Don't you ever brush your teeth?
You shouldn't ask such things. I'm a lady, remember? Now you're on our side. When you join up with Marley. It was last night. But why'd you do it? I don't get it. You could have had a life of luxury. The Jaegerists would have given you anything you asked them for.
You're right. If I had any sense at all, I'd be sitting in my room with my ears plugged right now. But no. Then that burning pile of bones would have haunted me for the rest of my life.
Jean, I have no idea what you're talking about, but you have my thanks.
Wash up, you smell like Titan breath.
Why me? After everything. We needed to borrow the cart's power to make this plan work. You were just part of the deal. For some reason, they insisted that we take you alive.
Wake up.
Annie.
Whoa, take it easy, Raina.
Don't worry, it's okay. We're all on the same side now.
There's not much time. Let's go.
Go where?
To end this and save the world.
Strangers become enemies in the chaos of war. We learn to hurt, kill, and despise each other. But what do we see through the campfire's flame? Next episode, Night of the End.
Thank you so much for watching this video on General Sansan Anime. I really appreciate you spending your time here and sharing this anime journey with me. If you enjoyed this reaction, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any upcoming videos. Your support truly means a lot and helps the channel grow stronger every day. I'll be back very soon with more exciting reactions, emotional moments, and unforgettable anime scenes for all of us to experience together. Until next time, take care, keep enjoying anime, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.